Welcome to Module 4, AI Governance and the EU AI Act. As AI becomes more integrated into our global business landscape, understanding the legal and ethical frameworks that govern it is no longer optional. It's a core leadership responsibility. In this module, we will move from principles to practice by exploring one of the world's most comprehensive regulatory frameworks, the European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act. We will break down its risk-based approach, uncover what it means for high-risk AI systems, and translate its key requirements into actionable steps for your organization. This isn't just about compliance, it's about building a foundation of trust and responsibility that will define successful AI leadership for years to come. Let's begin. So, what exactly is AI governance? In simple terms, AI governance refers to the comprehensive framework of policies, processes, roles, responsibilities, and controls that guide the development, deployment, and use of artificial intelligence in a safe, ethical, and accountable manner. Its core purpose is to ensure that AI systems are aligned with human values, legal requirements, organizational goals, and societal expectations. But what does this framework actually consist of? It's built on several key components. First, we have policies and standards. These are the formal rules that establish clear guidelines for development and deployment. Second is risk management. This involves proactively identifying and mitigating potential harms, like bias or security flaws throughout the AI's lifecycle. Third, clear roles and accountability are essential. We must designate who is responsible for what, from data scientists to business leaders. Fourth is transparency and documentation. This ensures we can understand and explain how an AI model makes its decisions. Fifth, we have continuous monitoring and oversight. AI systems need to be watched after deployment to detect issues like performance degradation. And finally, the component that brings it all to life, training and culture. Governance is a mindset that requires ongoing education to embed responsible practices into the organization's core. Together, these components create the essential structure for AI that is not only powerful, but also trustworthy and aligned with our values. A landmark moment in the history of technology regulation has arrived with the European Union Artificial Intelligence Act, the EU AI Act. This is the world's first comprehensive law specifically designed to regulate artificial intelligence. Adopted in 2024 and becoming fully enforceable by 2026, it represents a global benchmark. The Act establishes a groundbreaking legal framework with a clear and vital mission: to ensure that AI systems used within the EU are safe, transparent, traceable, non-discriminatory, and environmentally friendly. This isn't just a set of guidelines, it's a legally binding structure that will define how organizations around the world develop and deploy AI, setting a new standard for responsible innovation. Let's break down the core objectives and reach of this landmark legislation, starting with its fundamental purpose. The EU AI Act is driven by four key aims. First, to promote trustworthy AI that is firmly aligned with the EU's fundamental rights and values. Second, to ensure human oversight in all critical AI decision-making processes, keeping humans in the loop. Third, to prevent harm by strictly regulating or outright prohibiting high-risk and unacceptable AI systems. And fourth, to paradoxically support innovation and competitiveness by providing legal clarity and creating controlled testing environments known as regulatory sandboxes. Now, who does this apply to? Let's look at the scope. The Act casts a wide net. It applies to providers, the developers and manufacturers who place AI systems on the EU market; deployers, the organizations both public and private that use these AI systems; and importers and distributors within the supply chain. Critically, this law has global reach. It applies to both EU and non-EU companies if the output of their AI system is used within the European Union. If your AI affects people in the EU, you must comply. The cornerstone of the EU AI Act is its risk-based approach. This means the level of regulatory scrutiny directly corresponds to the potential harm an AI system could cause. The Act classifies AI systems into four distinct categories. First, unacceptable risk. This includes systems like social scoring by governments or real-time biometric surveillance in public spaces. These are considered a clear threat to safety and fundamental rights and are banned outright. Second, high risk. This category covers AI used in critical areas like medical devices, hiring processes, credit scoring, and law enforcement. These systems are subject to strict requirements, including robust documentation, human oversight, and rigorous testing before and after they reach the market. Third, limited risk. This applies to systems like chatbots and AI-powered recommendation engines. The main obligation here is transparency. Users must be informed that they are interacting with an AI. And fourth, minimal risk. This includes AI in spam filters or video games. The vast majority of AI systems fall here. There are no mandatory obligations, but the Act encourages voluntary adherence to codes of conduct. Now, let's focus on the most regulated category, high-risk systems. The Act mandates strict controls throughout their entire life cycle. Developers must ensure high-quality data governance and management, comprehensive technical documentation and record-keeping, effective human oversight mechanisms, high levels of accuracy, robustness, and cybersecurity, and continuous post-market monitoring with a system for reporting incidents. This framework ensures that the riskier the AI, the greater the responsibility placed on the organizations that create and use it. For the EU AI Act to be effective, it clearly defines roles and responsibilities for every actor in the AI value chain. Let's break down the key players. The provider, that is, the developer or manufacturer, bears the heaviest burden. They must conduct conformity assessments, ensure full compliance before release, and register the system in the official EU AI database. The deployer, the organization using the AI, has a critical duty to use the system according to instructions, monitor its ongoing performance, and manage any emerging risks in practice. Importers must verify that AI systems brought in from outside the EU meet all required standards. Distributors are responsible for ensuring the AI systems they sell carry the proper CE marking and have all necessary documentation. Overseeing this ecosystem are notified bodies, independent organizations that conduct audits and certification for high-risk AI systems, and national supervisory authorities in each member state who are ultimately responsible for enforcement. So, how does a high-risk AI system prove its compliance? Through the conformity assessment process. Before it can ever be placed on the market, a high-risk AI system must, first, undergo a thorough risk and impact assessment. Second, comply with all technical documentation requirements. Third, obtain the CE marking, which is the official indicator that the product conforms to EU law. And finally, be registered in the central EU AI database. This creates a transparent, accountable chain of responsibility from the developer's desk to the end user's hands. A robust law requires a robust enforcement structure. The EU AI Act establishes a clear governance framework to ensure its rules are more than just words on a page. The European AI Office, operating under the European Commission, sits at the center. It coordinates implementation and enforcement across all member states, ensuring a unified approach. Supporting this are the national market surveillance authorities who are on the front lines enforcing compliance within their respective countries. To foster innovation responsibly, the Act also promotes AI regulatory sandboxes. These are controlled environments where developers can test innovative AI systems under regulatory supervision before they go to market. But what happens if an organization fails to comply? The penalties are severe and designed to be a real deterrent. For the most serious violation, the use of prohibited AI systems, fines can reach up to 35 million euros or 7% of the company's global annual turnover, whichever is higher. For breaches of high-risk AI obligations, penalties can go up to 15 million euros or 3% of global turnover. And even supplying incorrect or misleading information to regulators can result in fines of 7.5 million euros or 1.5% of turnover. Finally, let's look at the timeline. We are currently in the preparatory phase, running through 2025, where standards are being developed. The core provisions for high-risk systems will be enforced starting in 2026, with continuous monitoring and adaptation continuing for years to come. The message is clear. Compliance is not optional, and the EU is building the structure to make sure of it.